Hey guys, it's Hannah Claire. I want to talk to you about People Magazine's shock that Melania Trump is planning on living in the White House, and moreover, the media's general desire for there to be a Melania Donald Trump breakup. There's sort of an obsession with the two of them and their marriage not working out, and I think it's sort of indicative of a larger insidious issue with the media and their general hate of Donald Trump. So let's get into it. On January 13th, People magazine published this article titled Melania Trump shares where she and Barron will live during Donald's second term in the White House. The incoming First Lady previewed her priorities for the next 4 years in an interview with Fox News' Ainsley Earhardt on Monday, January 13th. The only people who are shocked that Melania is planning on living with Donald Trump are people who hate the Trump family, people who want to see them get divorced. And I think that's kind of an ugly factor that's playing into a lot of our cultural politics these days. So I'm going to read you part of this People magazine article. Melania Trump directly commented for the first time about whether she will be joining President-elect Donald Trump in the White House full-time during his second term. In an interview with Fox News that aired on Fox and Friends on January 13th, the incoming First Lady, 54, said she will be splitting her time between Washington, D.C., New York City, and Palm Beach, Florida over the next 4 years due to her various responsibilities, though she plans to make one of these homes her main residence. I have to pause here because I think this is misleading. I'll read you the quote. She's very clear about where she's going to be living, and only People magazine is drawing it out for drama. They want it to seem as though she doesn't want to be around Donald Trump when that's just not true. And this is something that I saw repeated. Sorry, my cat's crazy. Do you want to talk about Melania Trump? Oh. Hello. I'm going to pause here to point out that People magazine is intentionally trying to draw out this ambiguity, this rumor that Melania Trump is going to spend a significant time away from Donald Trump. She'll be splitting her time between Washington, D.C., New York City, and Palm Beach does not match up with the quote she gives later. And I'll read it to you in just a second. But I think it speaks to People magazine's desire for there to be chaos. And People magazine exists to sell its own product. Therefore, it's reflective of this desire among people, I would say, who hate the Trumps to want desperately for their marriage to be on the rocks, which is kind of gross, right? Like that you would be rooting against someone else's marriage. But in particular, I think they want Donald Trump to be unlikable. It's difficult for people who dislike Donald Trump to believe that people really do care about him, enjoy his company, that he was successful, even though he was like a reality TV star for years and years and years. They didn't mind him when he was donating to Democrats. But in particular, there's sort of this, to me, this desire that Melania Trump is either this kept woman who's oppressed by Donald Trump or just secretly hates him and is plotting against him. There's no indication of that. They speak very positively of one another. They've been married for, I think, over 20 years at this point. And it's just the media that wants there to be some kind of chaos. So I think this is misleading. They are not, I think Melania is pretty clear that she is going to make her primary residence the White House, no matter what People magazine says. When asked where she will spend the most time in her new title, not new title, she was already First Lady, Melania told Fox, "I will be in the White House." That's the full sentence. I will be in the White House. Melania told Fox, "I will be in the White House. And when I need to be in New York, I will be in New York. And when I need to be in Palm Beach, I will be in Palm Beach. My priority is to be a mom, to be First Lady, to be a wife." I don't know how much more clear she can say, when I have to travel, I will travel, but my primary residence is with my husband in the White House. It seems like Melania Trump has the most unfair job in the world because of who she's married to. I mean, remember during Trump's first term in office, all kinds of designers refused to dress her because of who she was married to, despite the fact that she's our supermodel president. I'm not going to compel any designer to do anything. I mean, they're a private business, but doesn't it seem sort of ridiculous that these designers that would bend over backwards to dress, Laura Bush or dress Michelle Obama or dress Jill Biden suddenly were like, oh, the supermodel will pass. It's just obviously political. And then all of these people turn around and say, there's so much division in our country. How could that be? Again, kind of crazy to me. I also want to touch on another thing that she says here. So she does mention, when I need to be in New York, I'll be in New York. I think everyone knows at this point that Barron is attending college at NYU. He's living in his family's apartment in New York, which makes sense to me. I don't know why you would expect him to live in college housing, given how nice that apartment probably is, and also all of the security concerns. So as a mom, it makes sense. There are times that she may need to go to New York to see Barron, to do whatever, or for regular reasons. I mean, nobody heckled the Bidens. Nobody in mainstream media heckled the Bidens when they went back to Delaware every weekend. Conservative media definitely heckled him. I am among them. I think he spent a weird amount of time there considering. But she's saying she'll travel as need be, but her primary residence is the White House. I also want to reiterate her final sentence in this statement. My first priority is to be a mom, to be a first lady, to be a wife. I love that. I think that's great. I think that not enough women feel empowered to prioritize those things in their life because they look around and say, oh, well, I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that. I am supposed to be out of the home. I'm supposed to be putting my career first. I need to be constantly thinking about my self-improvement. I need to be cultivating all kinds of things away from the home. I love that Melania is saying this, and to be honest, it's something she's demonstrated time and time again. When Trump first took office in 2017, when he was inaugurated after the 2016 election, there was all kinds of speculation that they were on the brink of divorce or that they were renegotiating their prenup because Melania opted to stay in New York where Barron, who was like 11 or 12 at the time, could finish the school year. She didn't want to pull him out of his school in the middle of a school year, especially given all the changes I'm sure he just went through and the spotlight that he was under. I mean, people were really vicious to him. And she said, my priority is my marriage and my child, and I'm going to see that through. I think she should be commended for that. And I think it's a good example for women in a culture that is sort of anti-marriage, that looks at it as something that goes on the back burner. I think that's not fair. And I think that doesn't appreciate the power that marriage has in a person's life. So People magazine goes on. Melania also commented on whether her son, Barron Trump, will be joining them at the White House. Barron, 18, recently moved from the family's Mar-a-Lago mansion in Palm Beach up to New York City, where he is attending New York University's Stern School of Business. Melania told Fox in September that Barron opted to live at Trump Tower, his family's Midtown Manhattan residence, as he started his first year of college. Despite Barron's residency in Manhattan, he will have a room at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue so that he can, quote, come and visit as he pleases, the former First Lady told Fox News' Ainsley Earnhardt. Whatever he would like to do, Melania said, I feel as children, we have them till they are 18, 19 years old. We teach them, we guide them, then we give them wings to fly. I always respect Barron's yes and no and what he likes to do and where he would like to be, she added. So if we go back to the headline of this article, Melania says where she and Barron are going to live. Number one, doesn't act like Barron is an adult. Barron is 18. And also, it seems as if there is some kind of divide between Trump and Barron and Melania, as if there's almost a custody battle. Barron's an adult who's in college. Like a lot of college students, he will have a place to stay when he comes to visit his parents. His parents just happen to be the president-elect and returning first lady. So his fall break homestead or his place to go on Thanksgiving break is the White House. This seems completely reasonable to me. And I think it's, again, kind of ugly that there's this implication that there's a divide in the family based on nothing. Whenever you see these reports, Melania is considering filing for divorce, Melania can't stand Donald Trump, whatever it is, they never name the source. And when they do have a source, it's someone who's looking to profit off of their relationship to the Trump. There's a 2020 article from BBC where a former aide of Melania says that they have a transactional marriage, as if she was personally privy to all of the details of their decades-long marriage and the conversations that went on there. I think with any celebrity, people are going to speculate. People are going to say, oh, well, they didn't do this, whatever. But the Trumps are held to this weird standard that either they are on the brink of divorce, or Melania is this cowed, shut-in woman. She's not allowed to talk. She's afraid of Donald Trump, or she's like some sort of gold digger, which I don't think is true, that she's there just for the benefits. I think she's obviously deeply devoted to her family, which includes Donald Trump as well as Barron. Just as an example to underscore the double standard the media has for scrutiny for the Trumps versus other famous couples. There's this article in Indy 100, 7 times Melania rejected Trump's attempt to handhold in public. And it's, them walking at various places and Trump reaches out and she doesn't take his hand. By the way, no feminist is out there being like, she doesn't have to hold his hand. She's not his property. It's only used to try and make it look like she doesn't even like him or he's in this loveless marriage or something ridiculous. So people are watching them. But in contrast, there are reports in British publications specifically saying that the Princess of Wales and the Prince of Wales, Kate Middleton and William, intentionally don't hold hands when they're making a public appearance, especially in a capacity affiliated with the royal titles, because they are working. They view this as their responsibility, and it's not about their romantic relationship, and it's a way to sort of keep it professional. No one seems to care that they aren't always holding hands. Why does Melania have to be held to a different standard? We don't know what conversations they have behind closed doors. So really, only People magazine is shocked that Melania Trump, wife of President-elect Donald Trump, is moving into the White House with her husband. And it comes from this ugly desire for them to be on the brink of divorce because they need to confirm this belief they have that everyone around Donald Trump really doesn't like him. And it's just not true. I have a lot of respect for Melania Trump. I think she has capacity as First Lady to really highlight the power of femininity in America, and especially the role of a strong nuclear family in this country. And I'm excited to see what she does with her platform through the East Wing. So when you see reports over the next couple months, probably next 4 years, of Melania is secretly talking to divorce lawyers, she and Trump fight, or, she refuses to travel with him because whatever ridiculous reasons, don't believe them. Definitely take all of that with a serious grain of salt. I think there are a lot of young couples in America who can look at the Trumps as an example of people who prioritize their marriage and speak respectfully about each other in public. I think we live in a culture that doesn't value marriage, and there might be criticisms of Donald Trump. He's obviously on his 3rd marriage. He's been divorced before, but they seem very devoted to each other, and they also seem to take their role as president and first lady seriously, which is good. The office of the East Wing has the chance to influence culture over the 4 years, the same way that the West Wing has the chance to influence policy and all sorts of geopolitical decisions. I think that we should value Melania Trump's contributions just by her saying, I am prioritizing being a wife, a mother, and first lady. These are the things that I am called to do for the next 4 years, and I will live my life accordingly. She deserves more credit than she gets, and I hope you guys all are as excited as I am for the inauguration fashion that's coming. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and come back in the next few days for another video. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the politics and news coming up this year. If there's anything you're interested in or anything you'd like me to research, please let me know. Leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to do it. Thanks so much.